Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's talk about something that drives so many gardeners crazy. Basil.
Yeah.
Everyone says it's the easiest herb ever.
Right. That's the reputation.
But the story we hear all the time is you get this beautiful plant from the nursery, looks amazing, and like a week later,
Mm.
it's just sad. Wilting, heading for the compost bin.
It really is a paradox, isn't it?
Hmm.
It seems easy, but the truth is basil is actually quite demanding. It needs things just so. It doesn't really tolerate mistakes well at all.
So that's our mission today. We're going deep into why basil fails so often. We want to give you the actual steps, focusing on, the environment it needs and the crucial stuff like pruning.
Exactly. The goal is to get you that bushy, fragrant plant that just keeps producing leaves for your pesto, for your salads, whatever you want.
Mm.
We've got to nail the fundamentals first, though. The problems often start down below, with the roots.
Okay, let's dig in then. What's the number one reason? The sources seem pretty clear on this one.
Yeah, they really are. If your basil is dying, the absolute prime suspect is usually overwatering. Too much kindness.
The silent enemy, as
Yeah.
some call it.
Totally. More basil probably dies from this than, well, pretty much everything else combined. Basil does like water, don't get me wrong, but there's a huge difference between moist and completely waterlogged.
Right. Too much of a good thing. So what's actually happening down there in the pot when it's swimming?
Well, basically, the roots can't breathe. They need oxygen, just like we do. When the soil is constantly soggy, intarcato, as they say, there's no air down there, they suffocate.
And that leads to...
Root rot. The stressed roots are an open invitation for fungus, and once that rot starts, it's really, really hard for the plant to recover. Often it's just too late.
Okay, but here's the tricky part, right?
Mm.
People see wilting leaves, and what's the first instinct?
Grab the watering can.
Exactly. But wilting can mean underwatering too. So how do you tell the difference without making things worse?
You absolutely have to stop guessing. Use the finger test. Seriously. Just stick your finger into the soil, maybe about an inch deep.
Okay.
If the plant looks droopy, but the soil still feels damp or even just slightly moist down there, step away from the water. You've overwatered. Give it a day or two, maybe more.
So no watering on a strict schedule then, like every Tuesday is out.
Definitely out. Water when the plant needs it, not when the calendar tells you to. Let that top inch, maybe even a bit more, get properly dry before you water again.
Makes sense. But even if you water perfectly, it won't matter if the water has nowhere to go, right?
Drainage.
Oh, absolutely critical. This is non-negotiable, especially in pots. You must have drainage holes. Good ones.
And maybe even like some pebbles or something at the bottom? Or is that a myth?
Well, the drainage layer thing is debated, but what's not debated is the need for holes and the right soil.
Mm-hmm.
If water sits at the bottom, it doesn't matter how careful you are up top. Rot is inevitable.
And you can't just use soil from the garden in a pot, can you? Please don't. Garden soil is usually way too heavy, too dense. It holds water like a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
You need a good quality potting mix for containers, something light and airy.
Maybe add something extra.
Yeah, definitely. Adding perlite or even coarse sand can really help improve that drainage. You want water to flow through quickly, leaving the soil moist but not soggy. Think warm, airy feet for the basil.
Okay, warm, airy feet. Got it. So root problem sorted. Let's move up top. If it needs dry feet, what about sunshine? This seems to be another big one.
Oh, huge. Basil is a total sun worshiper. It absolutely needs a lot of light.
And what happens if it doesn't get enough? I've seen those sad, stretched out plants.
Exactly. That's called being leggy. The plant stretches, trying to find more light. The stems get thin and weak. They can barely support the leaves.
And does that affect the taste too?
Massively. The flavor comes from volatile oils, and the plant needs serious sun energy to produce those.
So,
Without enough light, the leaves get smaller, paler, and, frankly, pretty bland.
So flavor is literally solar powered.
Pretty much. Plus, a weak, light-starved plant is way more likely to get attacked by pests and diseases. It just doesn't have the strength to fight them off.
So how much sun are we talking? What's the ideal?
Full sun. And when we say full, we mean it. Minimum 6 hours of direct sunlight per day. Honestly, 8 hours is even better. That's the sweet spot for really robust growth and intense flavor.
8 hours. Okay, that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
What about growing indoors? A sunny windowsill.
A south-facing window is your best bet, absolutely. But even then, depending on the time of year or, obstructions outside, it might not be enough.
So if you don't have that perfect window, or it's winter.
Then you really need to look into supplemental light, a grow light. You can get good LED ones now that aren't too expensive.
Are they effective?
Oh, yeah. A good full-spectrum grow light can make all the difference for indoor basil. It gives that intensity needed for strong stems and, crucially, that amazing flavor. It's worth the investment if you're serious about indoor herbs.
Okay, light covered. What about temperature? I know basil hates the cold.
Hates it. It's tropical, remember? Even a mild chill can shock it.
Yeah.
The ideal range is maybe 18 to 24 degrees Celsius, something like 65 to 75 Fahrenheit.
And what happens if it gets too cold? Like below 10°C or 50°F?
Bad things. If it drops near freezing, like below 4°C or 40°F, you can get cold shock. The leaves might turn purplish or even blackish. It can cause serious long-term damage, maybe even kill it.
So if you're planting outside, you have to wait until it's properly warm.
Absolutely. Don't even think about putting basil outside until the nighttime temperatures are consistently staying above 10°C or about 50°F. It needs that reliable warmth day and night.
Right, okay. Drainage, sun, warmth. Now, for the thing that seems counterintuitive but is apparently vital, cutting it back, pruning.
Yes. This is the secret weapon, honestly. It separates the basil that lasts a few weeks from the one that produces all summer long, and it's directly linked to flavor.
How so? What's the biggest pruning mistake people make?
Letting it flower. Simple as that. As soon as you see those little flower spikes starting to form at the tops of the stems, that's a warning sign.
Why? What do the flowers do?
It's biology. The plant thinks, okay, time to make seeds. My job is done. So it pours all its energy into making flowers and seeds, and it pretty much stops making nice new leaves.
Ah, so leaf production just tanks.
Exactly. And worse, the leaves that are already there start to change. They develop compounds to protect the flowers and seeds, and those compounds make the leaves taste bitter and kind of tough.
Yuck. Okay, so job number one is stop the flowers.
Immediately, as soon as you spot those little buds starting, pinch them off. Just pinch them right out. Check every couple of days, especially in hot weather, because they can pop up fast.
And that forces the energy back into making leaves.
Precisely. You're basically tricking the plant. You're telling it, nope, haven't reproduced yet, keep trying, so it keeps making tasty leaves.
Clever. But there's more to it than just stopping flowers, right? There's a way to cut it that actually makes it grow better, bushier.
Yes. This is the golden technique. Basil naturally wants to grow straight up. That's called apical dominance. We need to break that. When you harvest a pair of leaves, not below, not halfway between nodes, but right above where two leaves, or two little side shoots, are branching off.
Okay, always above a pair of leaves. Why there specifically?
Because right there, in the little junction where those leaves meet the stem, there are tiny dormant buds. When you snip off the main stem tip just above them, you remove the hormone that was keeping them dormant.
And they wake up.
They wake up and grow. So where you had one stem going up, now you'll get two stems branching out. Do that consistently across the plant, and you go from a skinny little stalk to a full, bushy shrub.
That's brilliant. So harvesting is the care. You're constantly shaping it and stimulating new growth.
You got it. Regular harvesting encourages more growth. But just one word of caution. Don't go crazy.
Don't scalp it.
Exactly. Never take more than, say, about 1/3 of the whole plant at any single time. Leave enough leaves so it can still do photosynthesis and recover quickly. Take too much, and you can shock it.
Okay, 1/3 max. Got it. So we've done everything right. Perfect drainage, loads of sun, smart pruning. Now we have this huge, amazing basil bush. What do we do with all those fragrant leaves before they maybe start to go downhill?
Great problem to have. And yeah, you want to preserve that peak flavor. Drying basil works, but honestly, it loses a lot of its magic. Those volatile oils disappear. Freezing is much better.
How do you freeze it best? Just throw leaves in a bag?
You can, but there's a better way the sources mention. To keep the color and flavor really intense, chop the basil coarsely, then pack it into ice cube trays.
Okay.
And here's the key. Cover the chopped basil completely with olive oil before you freeze it.
Olive oil. Why?
The oil creates a barrier. It stops oxygen getting to the leaves, which is what turns them black or brown in the freezer. That's oxidation.
So,
The oil preserves that bright green color and locks in that amazing fresh flavor for months.
wow, that's a fantastic tip. Then you just pop out an oily basil cube when you need it.
Exactly. Straight into a hot pan for sauce or thaw a few for making pesto later. It's perfect for capturing that summer abundance.
Love that. Okay, let's try and boil this all down. If someone wants to finally succeed with basil this year, what are the absolute must-do takeaways?
Right. 3 main things, I'd say. First, basil needs warm, dry feet. That means fantastic drainage. Never let it sit in soggy soil. Use the finger test.
Okay, dry feet, number 2.
Second, give it a serious suntan, at least 6, ideally 8 hours of direct sun every day. Indoors, get a grow light if you have to. Don't skimp on light.
Suntan, check. And number 3.
Third, give it regular haircuts. Prune constantly, pinch off those flower buds the second you see them, and always cut stems just above a pair of leaves to make it bushy. Proactive attention is key.
Dry feet, suntan haircuts. Perfect. So for our final thought today, we talked about how flowering makes basil bitter, and that's usually seen as like a failure, right?
Yeah, it's the plant getting defensive, putting up chemical barriers.
But what if that bitterness isn't just a failure? The sources hint that maybe even bitter basil isn't useless. Some people use it for digestive teas or in really strong sauces where you might not notice the bitterness as much.
Interesting point.
So maybe the challenge is this. If that bitterness comes from potent defensive compounds, could a brief lapse in pruning, letting it get a little bitter, actually unlock some unique medicinal properties or unexpected culinary uses we normally miss? It kind of makes you wonder if even the plant's danger signals still hold some hidden value. Something to think about.